Hey folks, welcome back to the Lone Pine Tarot. For today I have a very special pick a card reading for us. As of the time I'm recording this, I'm planning to schedule this to come out on Christmas Eve this year. So for those of you who are viewing this video on the day that it's uploaded and or around the same time, and if you celebrate Christmas, well, Merry Christmas to you. And in general to everybody, happy holidays and a happy new year to you. So today's topic is related to the season. It's all about the universe's next big gift to you. So without further ado, let us pick our piles. For pile number 1s, I have the card Make the Grade with Flying Colors. Remember, you signed up for this, and the pine cone as the object. For pile number 2s, I have the card Divine Drunkenness. Surrender to your spiritual reverie, as well as the red bow. And for my lovely pile number 3s, I have You Are Invited. Suit up, show up, open up, with the object of the sparkly white ornament. So after you've finished meditating on the piles and decided which one you would like read for you today, as always, the timestamps are down in the description box below or the top pinned comment of the comments section. Click on the timestamp for your reading, and I will see you in our discussion all about the universe's next big gift to you. Bye. Hello, my lovely pile number 1s. Welcome to your pick a card reading today that is all about the universe's next big gift to you. As I said in the intro, if you view this during the holidays, happy holidays and a happy new year to you. But without further ado, let's get to your reading. So as you recall, the card used to help pick your pile and the object were the pine cone and Make the Grade with Flying Colors. Remember, you signed up for this. Now, I'm not sure what kind of pine cone that is. I should know because it's from my backyard, but I always love the smell of pine. I'm probably a little biased because of my channel name, but we'll set those over to the left here and get your cards out on the desk. Tarot I'll do towards the end of setting the cards out. First up are your oracle cards. So you received Fresh Approach. Okay. So some sort of new energy or approach to something is part of the theme here. We have Expression. Okay. Expressing something, or the way something is expressed to you. We have Yes. I always love getting this card because it's so cute. Yes, with an exclamation point. So something very happy, or something to be very happy about, I guess is how I would put that. I'm actually going to shift that over here. And then I do have one from the Pastoral Tarot here. You have the Nine of Pentacles, the card of satisfaction. That is always lovely to get, right? Satisfaction. You can see she's worked hard on her grapevines here, and they're growing very well. Generally, after a time of hard work is what the Nine of Pentacles talks about. All right, your tarot cards are Death reversed. Okay. We have the Two of Swords reversed. Okay, maybe something to do with a decision. And then we have the Ten of Wands, something about a burden that's been on you. I mean, you can see here how this figure is carrying a lot of heavy wands on him. Heavy burden, okay. So let me get my ducks in a row here. Apologies for cards covering other cards. As I talk about each one, I'll try to uncover them so you can see them more clearly as we're talking about them. I also want to get your Lenormand cards here. Spirit, for pile number 1s, can you give me a Lenormand reading for their next big gift from the universe, please? 3 cards, please. Okay, let's see what pops out here. We have the birch rods, something that's been either harsh or repetitive. So we're kind of leading up to, I think, the preliminary details of why this next big gift is coming. I'm actually just going to set the Lenormand cards down here with me until I talk about them in the reading, just because I don't want to cover any more cards, but I will show you them one by one. You also got the Fox, okay? So the birch rod's the fox, and then your third Lenormand card is the ring, which is like a promise of some sort or an agreement, a partnership. Okay, so let's read this for you, pile number ones. What's your next big gift from the universe? So I think, pile number ones, there's something you've really been wanting. Something you've really been praying for or really searching for. I think, let me read your Lenormand really quick before I say anything more. So birch rods, as I promised, I'll hold these up as I read them. So birch rods, fox, and the ring. So repetition of a clever agreement, or repetition or harshness with a sly agreement or promise. That's interesting. So some sort of repeated factor in your life, pile number ones, that has led you to wishing for this thing. Something to do with a lot of hard work, I see, especially here with your Ten of Wands on the right. That's the card, like I said, as I was pulling it out, of a lot of heavy burden. You can see like he's holding all these wands. He's being weighed down. He's kind of tottering on one foot because there's just so much to carry, and he's blindfolded on top of it. Also, though, to your Make the Grade with Flying Colors, I get the sense, probably because of the grade keyword, pile number ones, there's something to do with like classes or education, or if not, there's some sort of situation you've been in where you've had to do a lot of learning in a short amount of time, or it's been just a lot to handle. Hence, I think with your Lenormand reading, like I said, repetition of a clever agreement could be something to do with grades at school if you're currently enrolled at a university, or if you're younger, perhaps, if you're watching this as a teenager in high school, etc. Some sort of agreement where you've had to be clever and it's been kind of repetitive. I don't know if you've had to, if you're currently in school, you've had to repeat like a class or something like that. Either way, though, it's something where you're kind of hoping that this repetition will end, that there will be success in this area, especially because not only do I see that with, the feeling of the burden with the Ten of Wands over here on the right, but I also see with Death reversed and the Two of Swords reversed, Death is all about the end of something or the rebirth of something. Reversed, it's like something is being asked to come to an end, or something that you're hoping for it to come to an end, right? But it's not quite there yet, even though it's something that you're really wishing would end, right? Two of Swords reversed is normally upright. It's about making decisions, because the traditional imagery of the Two of Swords is a woman holding two swords blindfolded over her shoulders. Like if you look up the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck, because as the swords are the suit of air, they're the suit of the thought, mind, decisions, communication, things that we say, everything within that element. It's like being torn into two different directions. So it could be that even this burden and all this learning you've had to do and all this struggle I'm seeing here, pile number ones, has made you wonder, like, do I bring this to an end? Like, if you're in university, maybe it's you're like, do I keep going with this particular degree? Do I keep going with this particular class, if that's more specific to you. It could also be, if this isn't education related, pile number ones, it could be like with your career, like maybe you're thinking about a career change, which could involve university, depending on like if you need a degree for what you're looking for, or like a certificate or certification, etc. Yeah, and it just kind of feels like maybe you feel like you've been, especially with this expression card over here, I'm going to uncover it. You can kind of see like she's halfway underwater, like she feels almost like she's drowning, like just being kind of suffocated with a lot of burden and a lot of, especially with the butterflies here too. Butterflies are about rebirth, just kind of like the Death card is. I don't know, you have butterflies here too on your Fresh Approach card too. So like I said, that's like rebirth. That's wanting a change, wanting something to end and something new to start, right? Clearing out old energy and regaining new energy, or finding a new direction. So pile number ones, we talked about some kind of negative things, right? But that was just kind of the preliminary to what the next big gift is for you from the universe, pile number ones. So what I'm seeing here is this situation will be resolved. whatever it is, because this is a general reading, everyone's going to be a little bit different, but I'm getting the sense for most of you, this is something related to either education or some sort of direction in your life where it's been a lot, like a heavy burden, and you're kind of hoping that this particular thing would come to an end, or you just want something to go in like a different direction and you're having a hard time making choices and deciding how to go forward. That's coming to an end. So that's the universe's next big gift to you, is the relieving of this burden for you. I see not only like if this is like education related, maybe you're even worried about like your grades, hence this make the grade with flying colors. That is a saying that basically is saying passing with flying colors, passing with great merit. So if you're worrying about your grades, it seems like the next big gift to you is that your grades are going to go just fine. You know, maybe if you've had to repeat a class at university, or, you know, if you're younger watching this in like high school, for example, it seems like everything will be just fine, especially here as we're coming to the end of the year. If you're viewing this around the time that I post this, maybe you're worried kind of about your first semester grades. That seems like everything will be just fine. And the reason I say that is because the Nine of Pentacles is the card of satisfaction after a time of a lot of hard work. Normally, like the 7 and the 8 of Pentacles right before the 9 of Pentacles is about being, like, one's kind of like the apprenticeship card, one is kind of like the hard work card, and in sequence, they're like building up material wealth, I guess is how I would put that. Now, does that necessarily mean money? No. What it means is because it's the Earth suit, it's about success in the material world, which I always associate with, you know, yes, can be money, but with this particular reading, I see it as success in terms of like career or education. So this is the card of satisfaction. So everything is going to go just fine, pile number ones, if you're worried about maybe grades or your career, that kind of thing. It's going to be just fine. This is a very, very positive card to get if you're worried about stuff like that, okay? And also your angel card here too. Yes. You know, I mean, look at that. He's happy. He's literally jumping for joy. Likely, like, that's probably a little bit of a precursor to what you maybe will look like once this whole ordeal is over, right? Jumping for joy. I thank God this thing I was so worried about is over with, and I can finally just, I have like a huge burden, you know, lifted off of me, especially with that 10 of Wands there. Just a lot of heavy weight. You know, it could also be, let's see, with your expression card over here. Yeah, it's like I said, you know, she's kind of partway underwater and she's kind of hoping for that feeling of being able to breathe again. So pile number one's whatever it is that you've been worrying about lately, things that you've been struggling with burdens, it seems like that's finally going to lift itself, and that is your big gift coming up soon from the universe. Your fresh approach card here too is pretty interesting. I'm just going to pick that one out. Yeah, I mean, you can look at her the way that she's looking down. It's almost kind of like she's praying for something, she's hoping for something, but in general, a fresh approach, you know, like kind of what it says on the tin is a card about approaching something in a new way. So I don't know if you've been working really hard on, like, if this is related to education for you, pile number ones, maybe you've been working out a new way of studying that is the reason why this works out so well for you and you get a positive result, from all the hard work that you've been doing. It could also be, you know, maybe there's a fresh approach you've been taking in terms of your career, maybe even a career change you've been looking for, hence the fresh approach. Could even be that you're coming back from a time of a little bit more stillness, a little bit more slow movement in terms of like direction in life, and you're finally going to find that one thing that propels you, you know, from that feeling of burden, that feeling of stagnancy into a lot more forward movement, pile number ones. I also want to get another Lenormand reading on here for you, so let me shuffle my deck. Once again, apologies that the Lenormand cards were off the table for most of it, but I want to ask Spirit if they can give me more specifics about this big gift. Maybe to kind of make it more like you kind of know what to look for, I guess is how I would put it. Spirit, for pile number ones, can you tell me more specifics about this next big gift from the universe for them, please? 3 cards. Okay, there's the mice. Okay. That one already popped out. We have the mice, the woman. Okay, and I am going to cover the cards this time. the mice, the woman, and we have the crossroads. That is all about that Two of Swords energy. It's about, you can see there's two paths here. Which path do I take? Yeah, and then, okay, so to read this all as to one sentence, pile number ones, you have, the mice, the woman, and the crossroads. That together, strung together, is, the mice is like the loss or the decay of something. The woman can literally be a feminine energy in your life. It can also just mean like a feminine energy in your own life, like in terms of like how you express it in some way. And then the crossroads is like a choice between two paths to take. Yeah, I think this is related to what I was saying before, especially for those of you where this is education related, or career related. There's been a choice that you've had to make, or you've been kind of coming up across, especially with that Two of Swords I talked about earlier, and maybe your resources are kind of dwindling because of it. Maybe it's because, like, when you have to repeat classes, that's more tuition you have to pay, or at least here in the U.S., that's how it works, depending on what country you go to. But it could also just be funding in general has been having some issues lately, to the point up to where you're viewing this reading. And that's probably part of why you've been weighing this choice. Yeah, and then the feminine energy is interesting. It could mean that there is a feminine person related in this area that will help propel you into success with this, or down the right path, and the releasing of the burdens. Or someone that advises you on how to make that choice, or someone that helps you with the decay of resources here. Because like I said, the mice is generally like the loss of something. Because it's like they're eating at the grain stores. So it's like the loss of our, like, reserves of some sort. So, yeah. So I see that energy going away, pile number ones, and moving more into that Nine of Pentacles, and then your Yes card. Getting the thing that you've been hoping for, that you've been working really, really, really hard for, and finding success in the material world with the Nine of Pentacles here, and moving away from the decay or the loss of what the mice talk about here. And, true, it can be a little bit of a burden when, we're a little confused as to where to go in life, right? Analysis paralysis is a very real thing. It can be kind of scary. So, perhaps part of the releasing of that burden is just, I found which direction I want to go, especially if it's like deciding on what degree you want to do, or also like if it's a career change you want to go down, or, maybe even just a little bit of a shift at work with your duties, things like that. But whatever it is that you've been hoping or praying for in this area, pile number ones, I see definitely that there's success and change and positivity coming that's going to chase away this old energy of, oh God, I just wish it would end. This is such a burden, okay? That's going away, and you're going to be shifting into a lot more abundant time with this situation. So, to summarize, pile number ones, your next big gift from the universe is the releasing of this burden off of your shoulders. Depending on who you are, like I said, it's a general reading. Some of you, it could be success in education after maybe some repetition or maybe some hard times with schooling. For some of you, it could be success with a career change, or like some sort of shift at work of releasing of burdens in some way. In general, though, because like I said, general reading, everyone's going to be a little bit different. Their success in an area that you felt a lot of burden recently is how I would summarize that in like one sentence. So, pile number ones, I hope that reading was helpful for you. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I hope you have a wonderful, happy holidays and happy new year, as I'm uploading this right around the time that the end of the year is coming. So, yeah. Wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello, my lovely pile number twos. Welcome to your pick a card reading today that is all about the universe's next big gift for you. As I said in the intro, for those of you who are watching this right around when I upload it on Christmas Eve, Merry Christmas to those of you who celebrate Christmas, and in general, happy holidays and a happy new year to everyone. Without further ado, let's get to your reading. We have, as you recall, your pile leader, which was Divine Drunkenness, Surrender to Your Spiritual Reverie, and the object you picked was the red bow. Okay. So, good things are coming. Obviously, with the surrender to your spiritual reverie. Maybe something you didn't even believe was coming. We'll see what more info is with your other cards first, though. I'm going to set your tarot cards down here with me just towards the end when I flip everything over. So pile number 2s for your oracle cards. You first received, for your angel guide cards, transformation. So the shifting of one form of something into another, okay. Then we have compassion from your vintage wisdom oracle. Okay, maybe some forgiveness in here. Let's see what else pops up before I say anything further. Your inner truths, or excuse me, nature's whispers is inner truths, knowing something deep down within, navigating something with the heart, okay? And your tarot card from the Pastoral Tarot is the 5 of Wands. Okay, so maybe a little bit of butting of heads in some way in the past, recently going up to this video where you're watching it. Okay, maybe some butting of heads. Maybe it could be competing passions as well, but we'll see what else pops out before I comment on that. Your tarot cards are the Ace of Swords reversed. Okay, not sure what to think. Maybe a little bit of confusion, okay. We have the World reversed, okay. Not the end of something, okay. And we have, justice. Justice being served. That's always a good gift to hear about, right? Okay. And then I also want to pull Lenormand for you. Apologies, I'm going to have them off screen for most of the time just because I have not too much room here, but I will show them as I talk about them so you can kind of see them. Spirit, for pile number 2s, can you give me some more hints as to their next big gift from the universe, please? 3 cards, if you can. Okay. Those are already popping out. So we have, let's see, the stork and the fox, and then I'll show them in 1 second. Your third card is the anchor. All right. Okay. The stork, the fox, and the anchor. So if I were to read that all as one sentence, pile number 2s, the stork is about the delivery of something. The fox is about being clever or smart about something, maybe even sly. And the anchor is about holding things down or stability. So the delivery of clever stability is how I would read that all in one sentence here, pile number 2s. Clever stability. That's probably related to your 5 of Wands down here, pile number 2s. There's some sort of area in your life recently that you've been hoping will get better in terms of the butting of heads in some area. I'll try to pick out what that specific area is. Of course, though, as a general reading, everyone's going to be a little bit different, but yeah, looking for stability. A little bit of confusion in some area with the Ace of Swords reversed, and then the world is not the end of something, and the justice is kind of what it says on the tin about justice being served, inner truth, transformation. And then compassion. Okay, and then divine drunkenness, surrender to your spiritual reverie. Oh, okay. So pile number 2s. This reading is a little multifaceted, I guess is the best word. I would say there's been a situation recently where there was a little bit of butting of heads with somebody. You can see like the rams or the goats here kind of butting heads. That's all about the 5 of Wands. Traditionally, if you look at the Rider-Waite-Smith version of it, it's 5 people holding different wands, or it kind of looks like staves clashing with each other. There's been an issue recently where you've clashed with someone, or some group that you're in has been kind of a little, maybe a bit tumultuous. People have been butting heads. It's kind of left you confused, and you're not sure if things will be righted. And you're not sure if, like, this is the end of whatever this particular group is. Maybe people are even starting to get a little bit lost in the fighting and getting up and, like, stuck in more, like, petty related things rather than just getting down to the brass tacks of the truth and getting along and finding harmony and union instead of just fighting or biting at each other all the time. Because that's where that divine drunkenness comes in, I think, is that sometimes, you know, when there are spats between people, people get lost up in being right instead of, you know, finding harmony or common ground. And I think where this is left to you, pile number 2, is I don't think you're the main person fighting in this group, but you've been affected by it. And I think maybe you're even kind of wondering, should I go forward? Should I stay with this group? I'm kind of confused. What's going on? Who's telling the truth? And then with transformation too, it's like a shifting of energy in this group, and or even yourself. Like maybe things are coming to light that are shifting about the way that you view your role in this group, and or like the way that you view other people in this group. And so a lot of this energy is inner truths here. Like you can see she's holding a candle and she's trying to decide what path to go through in a bunch of caves, and the cave is kind of like symbolic of like the subconscious or our inner selves, right? And I think part of why you may be a little bit caught up in it is compassion, pile number 2's. I think you're maybe compassionate to both sides in this argument or this group kind of butting heads. So, like with pile number 1's, the reading is kind of a little bit starting out negative because we're getting up to the point of why this thing is becoming, or at least there's like a big gift coming related to this issue from the universe to you in the near future. So, like we've established, there's some sort of group that's butting heads. Things are kind of confusing. How do you navigate this? Maybe having compassion for both sides, or there's been a loss of compassion. And what I'm seeing, pile number 2, is especially with your Justice card here, in conjunction with your Transformation card, and then also your Lenormand, where I said it was the delivery of clever stability. There's going to be stability back in this group for you, pile number 2's. Things are going to write themselves out in the end, especially with your Justice card. There's a sense of justice winning the day in this situation. Perhaps even you've been accused of something, or someone's been kind of rude to you, and I think karmically things will turn out right in the end for you, in which the truth will come out and justice will shine clear after all these arguments in this time of lots of confusion. Let's see if there's any other messages I'm seeing pop out here, pile number 2's. So basically, if I were to summarize it in like one sentence, it's like a movement from people, bashing heads together and disharmony to a time of more peace and justice and unity and harmony coming forward out of this time of confusion, right? Especially, like I said, with the Ace of Swords reversed, it's like being confused, not sure which direction to take, right? You might not even be sure who to trust in the situation, right? Especially with the Inner Truths card, because it's like navigating to different paths in this cave. I'm going to ask Spirit if they can explain just a little bit more with another Lenormand reading here, and this time I will set it on the table for you, like I did for pile 1's. Spirit, for pile number 2's, can you tell me a little bit more about the big gift coming with this situation? 3 cards, please. If you could tell me maybe how the harmony will be achieved, or more positives from this outcome. What's this gift? Okay, so we have the heart, which is like emotion, love. We have the birch rods, which can mean either harshness or repetition. Okay. And then we have the man, so masculine energy. There's probably a masculine energy involved in this situation, pile number 2's. I think what it's saying here is that, especially with the heart, so if I would read this as one sentence, this is emotions repeated by a man or masculine energy. So I don't know if it's been like some confusion around the way a masculine energy involved in this whole thing really feels. But I'm seeing here that part of this return to unity is either this masculine energy reassuring that they have like the best intentions or they feel for you, or it could also be that there's a masculine energy involved in repeating a message of unity and love amongst this group, I guess is how I would put it, especially because like the birch rods are like repetition. That's the card of something being repeated. Maybe even a little bit harsh here with the birch rods, because that can also mean harshness. I think maybe someone's going to be sort of in a leaderish position in this group, and they're going to maybe have to repeat the message a few times. But after they repeat the message a few times about, hey, let's get back to unity, let's get back to being nice to each other, this will fix and resolve itself. And like I said, justice will win through the day here with your Justice card. It'll kind of resolve that that disharmony and bring it to more of a time of like compassion and people getting along is how I would say. Let's see if there's any other messages here for your pile number 2s. Yeah, it's like people kind of waking up from a stupor is how I would see it. People waking up from a time of being confused and kind of just angry at each other. There could even be like a social event involved here, pile number 2s, especially with divine drunkenness. Especially if you view this around the time that I upload this, it's end of the year, it's around Christmas time, New Year's, happy holidays, etc. Maybe there is a social event that you're kind of worried about and or has already occurred, and this could be future energy where you're worried that this butting of heads will happen again, or maybe it already did happen. But the next big gift for you, pile number 2s, is that this will be resolved and things will come back to peace. It'll end this phase here, especially with the world reversed here, is like asking for something to end, right? End of the phase of something, that will shift and everything will become clear and everyone will kind of know where they stand, and generally things will be a lot better going forward for this group. So, short and sweet reading for you today, my lovely pile number 2s. To summarize, the next big gift from the universe to you is turning a group that you're in from the butting of egos and heads into something a little bit more led by unity and peace and respect for each other. That's the next big gift from the universe to you. As always, I hope you found that reading helpful. Like I said in the intro, Merry Christmas to those of you who celebrate Christmas. Otherwise, in general, for everybody, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello, my lovely pile number 3s. Welcome to your pick a card reading today that is all about the universe's next big gift to you. Like I said in the intro, if you're viewing this around the time that I upload the video, if you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas to you. In general, for everyone, though, Happy Holidays and a Happy New Year. But without further ado, let's get to your next big gift to you from the universe reading. As you recall, the card used to pick your pile and the object were You Are Invited, Suit Up, Show Up, and Open Up. And the sparkly white ornament. Very shiny. I find myself getting distracted as I look at it. Like, ooh, shiny. I guess I'm like a crow that way. So we'll set this over here next to each other. Try to get the ornament to stand. Sorry, I'm covering the face of the card, but... Okay, put Lenormand over here. Let's flip over your other cards before I start reading the messages. Tarot will stay down here with me just for the interim. Alright, Oracle cards you received. Let us see. First up, your angel card was Manifestation. Okay, so there's been something that you've been looking or wanting. Or excuse me, looking for and wanting, I should say. Maybe something you've been praying for. Okay, let's see what else pops out. We have the kindred spirits, so likely to do with another person. Could be platonic, romantic, familial, so friends, relationships, families. Set that over here. And then your Nature's Whispers card is Trust Your Own Understanding. We got Athena vibes here with all the owls. Wisdom, trust your own understanding, okay. Lots of blue. And then your Pastoral Tarot is Knight of Cups, Following the Heart. Sentimentality, could be something to do with artistic vision, okay. And then your tarot cards over here are, we have the Three of Wands, enacting plans in some way, okay. Apologies as the cards cover each other a bit. The Five of Pentacles reversed, moving out of lack, moving out of poverty of some sort, okay. And we have the Page of Wands reversed. Okay, so that can depend. Sometimes that's a person in your life, sometimes it's a quality. Let me get your other cards on the table before I read into it, but generally, we'll see. Okay, and then I want to pull a Lenormand reading for you. I'm going to hold up the cards for you as I talk about them, but most of the time they'll be off screen just because I ran out of room here with all the cards. But Spirit, for pile number 3 is for their next big gift in the universe. Can you give me 3 different cards explaining more details on that? Okay, let's see here. We have the Clouds. Perhaps confusion about something, lack of clarity. We have the Ring, which is a promise or a partnership of some sort, a bond. And we have the moon, illusions, emotions. Okay, so to read this together, pile number 3s, I'm going to first kind of talk about the situation leading up to this, and then I'm going to explain what the wish fulfilled is, or the next big gift is, I guess I should say. So, your Lenormand here, clouds, ring, moon. So reading that as one sentence together in the style of Lenormand, I would say something to do with a lack of clarity regarding emotions in a partnership is the situation leading up to this big gift. Could be that someone's been kind of confusing in the way that they've been speaking about their emotions to you, or it could be, if this is business related, someone's been kind of confusing about the way they feel about a business agreement. In general, it's some sort of promise or agreement here with the ring card. And then, the clouds is like a lack of clarity of something, and then the moon is usually about emotions and Lenormand. So, lack of clarity on a partnership and emotions. Okay, so let's see what else pops out here from your other cards. Manifestation, trust your own understanding, kindred spirits. And then let's look at your leader. You are invited, suit up, show up, open up. Okay, and then your tarot is, sorry if I ramble and I'm a bit quiet for a second, I'm just interpreting here. I want to make sure I get the right message across. Okay, so pile number 3s. This is kind of a twofold reading. It depends on if there is a wish for some sort of romantic goal in your life or not. I'm going to read this first for a romantic interpretation, because I get the sense here that that's most of you, because not only like you got the Knight of Cups, but also the Kindred Spirits card, as well as the Ring card with your Lenormand. Kind of a hint at that maybe being romantic related, right? So pile number 3s. There's some situation where there's been a lack of clarity from someone in their relationship to you. It could be that someone has been really good in terms of like passion in the relationship. It feels like maybe you connect with them really well, hence kindred spirits here. But there's something that's slightly off that maybe you're not getting from them. Or that's kind of unclear, hence like your Lenormand with the clouds, something being unclear in the emotions in a partnership. There's an inkling you have deep down that there's something off, I think, with this relationship. And for those of you viewing this reading, if you're kind of confused as to like, I don't really feel like there's anything weird with my relationship, likely this is for your big gift from the universe is like a different interpretation of this reading, which I'll get to in a second here after I'm done with like the romantic interpretation. But in general, for those of you that have been feeling like something's kind of off in a relationship or in a potential relationship, this is just confirming that, you're not crazy. There is something here, especially with trust your own understanding here with your Nature's Whispers card. There has been a lack of clarity. There has been a lack of, I don't want to say like a lack of honesty, but on the part of the other person, yes, there's like a good spark there, but it seems like there's something that you want more from this relationship is kind of leading up to this next big gift. Now, what I am seeing, pile number 3s, for those of you where this is a romantic thing, there's a movement away from someone who is, so the Page of Wands reversed here can mean someone that's narcissistic. It can mean someone who's kind of boastful or egotistical, especially being reversed. But the positive side is moving away from that, not only because of manifestation, getting the thing or the lacking quality that you're looking for, but also the 3 Wands is about reaching into the future after making plans and actually acting on those plans. And then especially the 5 of Pentacles here reversed is like moving out of a lack of something, moving out of, traditionally it means like moving out of poverty, but in a relationship, romantic reading, I would see this as moving from a lack of, away from like a lack of love or away from like a lack of something. And the positive side I think there's someone else, for those of you who are not happy in your relationship right now, there's someone else coming on the horizon, especially with kindred spirits here, and then also Knight of Cups. It's like someone who is the person that you're looking for that has that quality that's been lacking. The thing that you really wanted to manifest, or the thing you've really been looking for, is coming, especially like I said with that moving out of that quote-unquote poverty here, or that lack of something with the 5 of Pentacles reversed. So in that case, for those of you where this is a romantic thing, there's movement out of this time of feeling like not having everything you need, and towards a future where there's romance where there is fulfillment in the thing that you've been looking for that's been lacking in the past. So that's how I would read it for romantic interpretation. For those of you where maybe it's not so much a romantic related thing that you've been wishing for, definitely I see, like, if this is career related, there's something you've been wishing for in your career. Maybe a better job that matches more closely with your spirit, hence kindred spirits here. It's something that's a little bit more close to or aligned to who you are deep inside. Also, on top of that, if this is, like, career related, I also see moving on from, like, literal money problems, especially with the Five of Pentacles or Wheels reversed here. That's moving out of money issues. So maybe a better paying job is on the horizon for you. Maybe you've been dealing with someone at work that's kind of boastful or egotistical here, hence with the Page of Wands reversed. But you've been working hard and you've been making plans and reaching towards that future. And I can see here the thing that you've been wishing for in your career is manifesting. And you'll find something that aligns more with your soul and also pays better for you, pile number 3s, as your next big gift from the universe. Let me see if there's any other meanings I can glean from the cards here. It could also be if you're someone that's been kind of lonely lately, like in general, just like with friends, or you haven't been able to see people you love, maybe you're far away from family, etc. Especially with your kindred spirits card and Knight of Cups and, manifestation, there is moving out of a lack of socialization here, if that's something that more applies to you. It seems like you will find someone who is more of a kindred spirit to you, pile number 3s, if that is your case. Someone who you really just click with, you get really along with. Yeah. So, to summarize, because this is a general reading, everyone's going to be different. So some of you, this will be like a romantic thing that gets better. Some of you, this is a career thing that gets better. Some of you, this is like just, maybe finding more people that click with you, etc. To summarize this reading for everybody, depending on, or kind of ignoring the more specifics depending on what your situation is, right? This next big gift from the universe is moving out of a lack of something you've been lacking in your life, something you've really been wishing for, hence the manifestation card, something you even have been planning for, really reaching for with 3 of Wands, and finding a place or people that are more aligned with you and moving out of lack into more prosperity for you, pile number 3s. Finding more clarity, finding more abundance, I guess is a good word. Finding more things in general that line up with what you've been asking for that have been lacking recently. So pile number 3 is a lovely little short and sweet reading for you. I hope that reading was helpful for you, like I said at the beginning. For those of you watching on Christmas, and for those of you who celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas to you. Thank you for watching the video, and in general to everyone, happy holidays, have a happy new year. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading.